What if I told you? And that the secret to fluency is hidden in your daily coffee? Welcome everyone to our Learning Roundtable. Today, we're exploring a powerful idea: how our daily habits and routines can shape our path to English mastery.
That's a fascinating topic, Candy. Most people see their routine as, routine. Something a bit boring, maybe.
Exactly, but I believe it's our greatest tool. Let's start with something incredibly simple. Ed, tell me about a mundane task. Something you do almost without thinking.
Okay, I've got one. Making the weekly grocery list. It's not exciting, but it has to be done.
Not exciting? The grocery list is the blueprint for a week of happiness.
And laughs gently. From Eddy's perspective, absolutely. But tell us your process, Ed. How do you go about it?
Well, throughout the week, I usually jot down things on my phone. As soon as I notice we're running low, if we run out of milk or need to stock up on pasta.
Perfect. Let's pause on those phrases. To jot down, that means to write something quickly. To run low or to run out of means you have very little or none left. And to stock up on means to buy a large quantity of something.
They are very common in daily conversation. Much more natural than saying write quickly.
Precisely. Now here's the connection. That simple automatic act of making a list is a system. It's an organized habit. We can apply the exact same logic to learning vocabulary.
Aha, a shopping list for words. I need to stock up on treats, sis. And I'm running low on good boy.
Chuckles. You're never running low on that, Eddy. So, you mean keeping a running list of new words we encounter?
Yes, but let's add a layer of structure. Think about the grammar of routines. We often use the present simple tense, and we specify frequency with adverbs. Words like always, usually, often, sometimes, and rarely, and never.
So, I always brush my teeth. I rarely forget to make my grocery list.
Perfect. The position of these adverbs is key. For most verbs, the adverb comes before. As in, I usually jot down notes. But with the verb to be, the adverb comes after it. For example, he is always happy.
That's a very important distinction. It's a subtle but common mistake for learners.
It is. And to add another layer, we also use adverbial phrases of frequency. These usually go at the end of a sentence. Like, I go to the gym once a week. Or, we visit family from time to time.
From time to time, I pretend I don't hear my name. It keeps things interesting.
So you see, even in a simple routine, there's a rich structure of language. Next, we'll discuss the most significant routine: our mindset. Now that we've established the power of routine, let's address a very common feeling: the feeling of being completely overwhelmed.
Yes, the classic, how do I do it all? kids, work, life, and learning English. It can feel like an impossible task.
Impossible? I manage naps, snacks, and walks. It's all about prioritizing the essentials.
Eddy's wisdom is surprisingly relevant here. The key is to differentiate two concepts: being busy versus being productive.
They sound similar, but they're worlds apart. Being busy is about motion. Being productive is about direction.
Exactly. Many learners are busy. They collect apps, watch random videos, but they lack a clear productive system.
And that feeling of being overwhelmed has some great idiomatic expressions. For example, you might say, I'm swamped. Imagine being in a swamp, stuck in the mud.
Another one is, I'm snowed under. The image is being buried under a pile of snow. Both mean you have too much work to do.
And a personal favorite, to bite off more than you can chew. It means you've taken on a task that is way too big for you to handle.
I have never understood that concept. There is no such thing as too much to chew.
Laughs. Well, for us humans, it's a real problem. So how do we combat this? The first step is setting realistic goals.
Instead of saying, I will master English this year, which is huge and undefined, try something specific and measurable. I will learn 5 new phrasal verbs this week.
That's an excellent example of a SMART goal. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This structure turns a vague dream into an actionable plan.
And it helps you see progress, which is a huge motivator.
It is. The second step is prioritization. You cannot master everything at once. What is one area you want to improve now? Is it speaking confidence or writing accuracy?
Focus your energy on that one thing. Once you feel more comfortable, you can shift your focus to another area.
My one area is perfecting the puppy eyes. It is a highly effective communication tool.
A very strategic choice, Eddy. This leads to an important skill: learning to say no. Not just to others, but to yourself. Saying no to 10 different study methods, so you can say yes to one that works.
And there are polite ways to do this in English. Instead of a direct no, you could say, I'd love to, but, or unfortunately, I won't be able to.
These phrases soften the refusal. It shows you respect the other person's request, even if you cannot fulfill it.
It's all about creating space in your schedule and in your mind. That's where the real learning happens.
This idea of creating mental space reminds me of a common error we see. It's time for our common error analysis.
Excellent. These are always so insightful. What's the mistake we're focusing on today?
It's a very frequent one. I am agree. We often hear students say this when they want to express that they share an opinion.
Right. For example, if I say, learning English takes time and patience, a learner might respond with, I am agree.
Exactly. Now, technically, why is this incorrect? The reason is simple but fundamental. In English, agree is a verb. It's an action, a mental action.
So when you say I am agree, it's like saying I am run or I am speak. You are using two verbs together incorrectly.
Precisely. The verb to be, am, is, are, is usually followed by a noun or an adjective, like I am a teacher or I am happy.
I am hungry, I am sleepy, I am cute. My states of being are very clear.
So the correct and natural way to say it is simply I agree, or for more emphasis, I completely agree.
Yes, and this connects to our main topic. When your actions or verbs are misaligned, the result is confusing. The same is true for your learning strategy.
That's a powerful analogy. If your goal is fluency, but your action is just memorizing vocabulary lists, your verbs don't align. There's a disconnect.
There is a disconnect, and that creates frustration. Now let's elevate this. What about disagreement? We can't just say, I know agree.
For simple negation, we need an auxiliary verb. In this case, do, so I do not agree. Or more commonly, the contraction, I don't agree.
But in more nuanced C1 level conversations, a direct I don't agree can sound confrontational. So we use softer, more diplomatic phrases.
This is great. For example, I see your point, but this phrase acknowledges the other person's view before you present your own.
Another excellent one is, I'm not so sure about that. It's a gentle way to express doubt or disagreement.
Or I take a slightly different view. This one sounds very professional and articulate.
I take a slightly different view on bath time. Specifically, I believe it is unnecessary.
We can respectfully disagree on that one, Eddy. So the takeaway here is twofold. First, master the basic structure. I agree. Second, learn the nuanced phrases for disagreement. It shows a high level of communicative competence.
And it all comes back to aligning your language with your intention, just like your study habits.
We've discussed focus and prioritization, but there's a danger in being too disciplined. It's called burnout.
That's when you feel mentally exhausted. Your motivation disappears and you hit a wall. You just can't seem to make any progress.
Precisely. And the solution is not trying harder. It's incorporating intelligent breaks and self-care. This is a core part of the learning strategy.
A strategic nap is not laziness. It is essential data processing.
Laughs. Eddy is ahead of the curve as usual, but he's right. Your brain needs time to consolidate what you've learned.
Let's structure this as advice. We can use modal verbs like should and could. Should implies a strong recommendation. You should take regular breaks.
And could suggest a possibility or option. Like you could try the Pomodoro technique. That's 25 minutes of focus, then a 5-minute break.
A more forceful modal is must. It implies necessity. You must get enough sleep. Sleep is non-negotiable for memory formation.
So, what are some good self-care activities? There's a lot of great vocabulary here. the main goal is to unwind or to relax. You want to recharge your batteries.
You could take up a new hobby, or you could simply take a breather, which means to pause and rest for a moment.
Some people like to go for a run. Others might prefer to just doodle in a notebook. The key is to switch off your study brain.
I recommend a vigorous session of bird watching, or perhaps contemplating a sunbeam.
Contemplation is a great word, Eddy. Activities that don't require intense focus. Allow your subconscious mind to work. It's a process called diffuse thinking.
So, taking a walk isn't avoiding studying. It's actually part of the process.
It can be if done intentionally. The goal is to prevent reaching a state of mental fatigue. That's another great term.
So, let's create a practical challenge. Think of one activity you enjoy. That helps you take your mind off things. Now, using modals, give yourself advice. For instance, I should play guitar more often.
Or, I could go for a hike this weekend. Frame your self-care as an active choice.
I must demand a belly rub after this. My mental fatigue is immense.
Chuckles. Your contribution has been invaluable, Eddy. The point is, don't see rest as a reward. See it as part of the work itself.
A perfectly balanced equation. Effort plus rest equals sustainable progress. This leads us to a fascinating concept: the power of microhabits. These are tiny actions that, over time, lead to remarkable results.
I like that idea. It sounds less intimidating. So, not study for 2 hours, but something much, much smaller.
Exactly. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't think about it, you just do it. It has become second nature. That's our goal for a tiny learning habit.
To make it so automatic, it feels effortless. So, what would be an example of that?
Here's one. Learn one new word a day, but not just learn it, use it. Try to put it in a sentence.
Today my word is bountiful. My breakfast was a bountiful feast.
Very nice use of the word, Eddy. Another micro habit could be describing one object around you in English. Just a single sentence while you wait for coffee.
These actions seem insignificant in the moment, but they have a powerful cumulative effect. That means the results add up over time. One word a day is 3-5 new words a year.
And not just words, but 365 moments of actively engaging with the language.
Precisely. The key is to lower the friction. Make the habit so easy you can't say no. We want to reduce the threshold of activation. That's the energy required to start a task.
So if read a book in English is too hard, the micro habit is read one paragraph. Or even read one sentence.
My threshold of activation for a nap is 0. I am a model of efficiency.
This process is about ingraining a habit. To ingrain something means to establish it firmly, so it becomes a permanent part of you.
And once it's ingrained, you can build on it. One sentence becomes a paragraph. One paragraph becomes a page.
That's the principle of habit stacking. You link your new micro habit to an existing one you already do.
For instance, after I brush my teeth, I will write one sentence in my English journal. You're piggybacking on an established routine.
This consistency is far more potent than occasional intense study sessions. It's about the frequency, not just the duration.
So the challenge for our listeners is this. Choose one micro habit you can start today. Make it ridiculously small. And commit to it for 1 week.
I will commit to greeting the mail carrier with one powerful, articulate bark. Consistency is everything.
We've built a solid framework today. From routines to mindset to micro habits, let's finish with the most important ingredient: passion.
I love this. Learning shouldn't feel like a chore. It should be connected to something you enjoy. Like music, movies, or books.
Exactly. Let's take music as an example. How can we use it as a learning tool, Ed?
Music is fantastic for internalizing rhythm, the flow and cadence of a language. Lyrics are also a goldmine for slang and colloquial expressions.
And from a structural point of view, they are full of interesting grammar. Let's do a quick practical analysis.
Great idea. Let's take a simple line. I ain't got no sunshine when she's gone. Now, ain't is very informal slang. It can mean am not, is not, or have not.
And structurally, this sentence is fascinating. It uses a double negative, ain't and no. Grammatically, it's considered incorrect. But in songs and informal speech, it's common. It adds emotional emphasis.
So the correct version would be, I don't have any sunshine. But it doesn't sound as soulful, does it?
I ain't got no complaints. When the treat bag is open,
This perfectly illustrates the point. Use your passions to explore the language. You'll learn the rules and also when to break them.
All right, it's time for our practical challenge. We have 2 challenge sentences for you today. Your task is to choose the correct adverb.
Sentence 1. He is late for class. Should the word never go before or after is? Take a moment to think.
The correct answer is he is never late. Remember, with the verb to be, the adverb of frequency comes after.
Excellent. Now for sentence 2. I check my emails in the morning. Where would you place the word always? Think carefully.
The answer is, I always check my emails. With most other verbs, the adverb comes before the main verb.
Great job, everyone. Practice makes perfect. And that brings us to the end of our discussion.
and now for Eddy's insight. Learning a language is like a long walk. You don't focus on the destination. You enjoy the interesting smells along the way.
Wise words, Eddy. Thank you all for joining us. We hope this lesson helps you find your rhythm.
If you found this discussion helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe. It truly helps our channel grow.
And for your practice, leave a comment below. Tell us one micro habit you will start this week. We read every single one.
Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing. And be kind to yourself in the process.